Here are the answers from yesterday's workbook. Please pause the video and check your work. Don't forget to send Miss Downing or Miss Lopez a message if you need a little bit of help. Hello! Thank you so much for uploading yesterday your fraction world. They look absolutely amazing. Today we're going to start by going over what a fraction is. We know that a fraction is a part of a whole. When we write it, the denominator tells us the total number of equal parts a whole has been divided into, and the numerator is telling us the number of equal parts that we are counting. This week we started learning about equivalent fractions. They are fractions that, even though look different, they have the same value, so they are the same size. In order to find equivalent fractions, we've used fraction bars, our times table knowledge, because we know that if we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number, we will get equivalent fractions, and a fraction wall, in which we can see which fractions are equivalent. Today, I'm going to show you how to find equivalent fractions by using a numbered line. How do we write fractions on a number line? I have here a fraction bar representing a fraction, and below I've got a number line. What will we write at the beginning of our number line? Imagine that you're going to measure some water on a measuring cup. What will be the first number that you can see? Well done. We will write 0 because we start with nothing. What number will we write at the end of our number line? Remember that we're writing fractions, and a fraction is a part of a whole. What number can we use to represent a whole? That's it, correct. Number 1. Now, into how many parts has my whole been divided into? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which is the same as if I would have counted my parts on my fraction bar. I go 1 part, 2 parts, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 parts in total. So my whole is 1. But we could also say that this whole, this 1, is equivalent to 9 ninths, because there are 9 parts in total. My whole has been divided into 9 parts. And if I count them all, I have 9 ninths. Okay, so the number at the beginning of my number line is always going to be a 0, and the number at the end will be a 1 because it represents one whole. Okay, now, how are we writing our fractions in our number line? So my first part will be 1 out of 9, so 1 ninth, because I'm just counting 1 part, so 1 part. 1 out of 9. Where will I write 2 ninths? What do you think? Where will I write 2 ninths? Will I write them here? Here? Where? Correct. I will write 2 ninths here because I'm counting 2 parts, 1 and 2, out of 9. The same as if I were using my fraction bar. Where will you write 8 ninths? What do you think you need to do? We know that our whole has been divided into 9 equal parts. Where will you write 8 ninths? That's it, we need to count 8 parts. So 1 part, 2 parts, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I will write 8 ninths here. If we keep on counting, we'll have 9 nines, which make our whole. Where will you write now 4 nines? The same. We need to count 4 parts out of 9. So we go 2 here, 2, 3, and 4. 4 nines will be here. What about 3 nines? This one is quite clear, isn't it? So 3 parts out of 9 will be here in between the 2 parts out of 9 and 4 out of 9. Let's check. We start from 0, 1, 2, 3 parts out of 9. 7 nines. Where will you write 7 nines? How many parts do you need to count? 7. So if we know that 8 parts out of 9 are here, 7 nines, we take away 1, it should be here. We're going to write it down and then check. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 nines. We got 2 left. 5 nines. Where will you go? Correct! After 4 nines. We can check again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nines. 5 parts out of 9. And the last one will be 6 nines. So this is how you write fractions in a number line. It's exactly the same as if you were counting the parts in a fraction bar, but you're just writing them down on a number line. Now I'm going to show you how to use a number line in order to find the equivalent fractions. And we're going to start by looking at this picture. We've got here 1/3, so we are counting 1 part out of 3. I'm going to ask you to look at how I draw this in my fraction bar. So I need to divide it into 3 equal parts to start with. So 1, 2, and 3. And how many parts am I counting? 1. So I'm going to shade in 1 part. Now I need to write it on my number line. We say that we always start with a 0 and finish with a 1 because it represents our whole. All you need to do now is divide this number line into how many equal parts? 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Remember, this whole will be the same as 3/3. Now, where will my 1/3 be? Where will you write 1/3? Here, well done, because we are counting 1 part out of 3. Now imagine, now I'm going to draw, so this is my same whole. Now we want to look for equivalent fractions to 1/3. And all I'm going to do is draw a horizontal line here. Now you can see that my denominator is no longer 3, it is now 6. I've divided my whole into 6 equal parts, and I am counting 2. You can already see that even though the fractions are different, they have the same value. Now I'm going to do what I did just before. I'm going to split my fraction bar into 6 equal parts. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to count how many parts out of 6? 2. Well done. So I'm going to shade 2 parts out of 6. What do I need to do next? I need to write it on my number line. So I'm going to start with a 0 and finish with a 1 because it represents my whole. Now I need to divide my number line into 6 equal parts. And as you can see, they match with the parts of our fraction bar. Can you see? Now, we need to mark 2 6. Where will you write 2 6? Well done. You will write 2 6 here, 1 6 and 2 6, because we are counting 2 parts out of 6. And you can see that they have been placed, 1/3 is placed exactly in the same place as 2 6 on the number line. Let's do one more. I'm going to start with my same whole. So 1/3, we're looking for fractions equivalent to 1/3. And now, instead of drawing one horizontal line, I'm going to do two horizontal lines. Now, into how many equal parts have I divided my whole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my denominator is going to be 9. And how many parts have I counted? 3. 3 out of 9. Again, you can see that even though the fractions are different, they have exactly the same value. Our fraction takes up exactly the same amount of space. Now we have to do the same here. We're going to draw it in our fraction bar. So we need to divide it into 9 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so now I need to shade how many parts? 3. 3 out of 9 because my numerator is telling me 1, 2, and 3. And I need to label my number line. So we start with a 0. We finish with a 1 because it represents our whole. Our whole could also be 9 nines because that's our total. We got 9 parts. And now we need to divide our number line into 9 equal parts. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 equal parts. Now, we've said that 3 nines is equivalent to 1/3. So where are we going to place 3 nines? We need to count 3 parts. 1, 2, and 3. So 3 nines will be here. And we can see how, if we look at the number lines, all our parts are placed on the same spot, in the same space in our number lines. Because even though our fractions look different, they take up exactly the same space. So they have the same value. Now I'm going to show you how to do the same, but in this case we are not going to draw our fraction or use a fraction bar to help us. We're just going to find an equivalent fraction using our number line. So I go here a fraction and it says it's 3/4. So to start with, I'm going to label my number line. That will be 0 and this will be my whole 1. And into how many equal parts do I need to divide my number line? 4. So I'm going to divide my number line into 1, 2, 3, and 4 equal parts. Remember that our whole also is 4 out of 4. Now, how many parts am I counting? 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write here that this is 3/4. Okay? Now, I need to find an equivalent fraction to 3/4. So I need to split my number line into how many different parts in order to find an equivalent fraction to 3/4. I'm going to use my timetables knowledge to do so. I say let's do 3 times 3, which equals 9. And 4 times, remember we said we need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number, so we need to multiply it by 3. So 4 times 3 equals 12. So I think that 9/12 is equivalent to 3/4, and we're just going to use our number line to represent it and check. So into how many equal parts do I need to divide my number line? That's it, 12. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. remember we need to mark that 0 is at the beginning of our number line and 1 is our whole. Okay, so now we've said that 9/12 is equivalent to 3/4, and we want to make sure that that is right. So let's count 9/12 in our number line and write it down. 1, 2/12, 3, 4, 5, 6/12, 7, 8, 9/12. So I'm just going to write here 9/12. That will be 10, 11, and our whole will be 12 out of 12. Is 3/4 equivalent to 9/12? That's it, it is. They are equivalent because even though they are different fractions, out of our whole, they take up exactly the same amount of space. Today, we would like you to complete page 98 of your workbooks and also have a go at using number lines in order to find equivalent fractions. If you do not have a printer, do not worry. You can draw your own number lines, make sure your whole is the same, and look at the denominators to find out into how many equal parts you need to split your number line. Remember, we're looking for equivalent fractions, and equivalent fractions are fractions that might look different but have exactly the same value. Don't forget that you can always text Miss Lopez or Miss Downey if you have any doubts. The challenge today, we would like you to draw as many number lines as you can showing equivalent fractions. As a tool to help you, you could use fraction bars, you could use your times tables knowledge, or you could use your fraction wall. We're looking forward to seeing all your work. See you tomorrow and have fun. Bye!